The purpose of this video is to show you how to upload a certificate or request credit in Eduphoria. Now in Eduphoria there's an application called Workshop. That can be seen right here. And in Workshop there is a portfolio. So not only do you have the place where you register for your district professional development, you have a portfolio that keeps track of all your professional development that you've done. Now any district professional development you've done will automatically appear in this portfolio. But it does not just give you the ability to house district PD, it also gives you the ability to add outside professional development, trainings, conferences, or even college classes that you attended that are applicable to your job and to your work as an educator. And it's a good idea to keep those things here in the portfolio because it's one place for you to keep track of all the work you've done and all the training you've taken part in to grow as an educator. Now, if you'd like to upload a certificate or request credit for some training, this is how you'll do it. Once you've clicked on My Portfolio, down at the very bottom left, you'll see a place that says Add New Portfolio Entry. Once you click on Add New Portfolio Entry, you'll see the New Portfolio Entry wizard appear. And it's going to ask you, what type of entry do you want to include in your portfolio? And it's going to give you 4 choices. This is an outside workshop or conference. That's going to be the most common one. If you've gone to something at Region 10 or SMU or somewhere else, you'll pick this right here, outside workshop or conference. Now some of you are taking college courses, you'd want to pick that. Some of you are requesting district professional development, you can pick that one if you want. If none of those 3 fit your needs, you can always select the other box. That one's going to be rare though. Almost everybody's going to be picking this first one, outside workshop or conference. So when you've made your correct and appropriate selection, down at the bottom right, you're going to click the Next button. Now here's the basic entry. And as we go through these pages for where you're going to be entering information, it's important to be as detailed as possible. The reason you want to give as much detail as possible is once you finish this entry, it's going to enter a workflow and it's going to go to a particular person for approval. That could be your principal, it could be your supervisor, or it could be a particular content supervisor depending on what type of credit it is you're requesting. So I'm going to enter the title of our workshop here. And it's using Google Classroom to flip instruction. Now I want to give a description because the title may not tell me what's going on, especially some of these titles are really creative and have names that don't actually tell what's happening, so the description's important as well. You're going to pick the date. My start date is April 10th. It was over on the same day. You're going to pick the time. This is important. Make sure your time is correct. And once you've completed all of this, down at the bottom right, you're going to hit that Next button again. And then you're going to have the value of district credit requested. Now this is an important one, and this is where I see a lot of people make mistakes, so be very careful on this one. Our workshop that we entered was 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's 2 hours worth of credit. So we're only going to get to enter a total of 2 hours here. I've seen people before that'll come by and they'll say, well, it was this, and it was this, and it was this, and they'll enter 2 multiple times. Now that's not going to be appropriate, and your request is going to be denied if you do that because you've entered a total of 6 hours here. So what you have to do is you have to actually make sure you're picking the correct area for your training, the correct area you want to receive credit in. Now using Google Classroom, I'm going to put that in instructional technology, 2 hours worth. So once I pick the value of the credit requested, and it enters the total of the time that my workshop actually was, I'll be ready to go to the next page. Now, if you want to make comments about this credit request, you can do so. If there's a particular reason you're needing to give more information, you can do that in this box. So I have it here. I have my 2 hours, and it's in instructional technology. So I know when I make this request, it's going to flow to the instructional technology department for approval. Down in the bottom right, I'm going to hit next. And then I'm going to pick goals. Now this is very important for you to pick the correct goals and domains anytime it gives you the option to do that. Because anytime you're being evaluated or being assessed on areas that you've done training in, you want it to appear. So the purpose of this is to flip classroom, drive instruction, and to use technology. So that's going to meet goal 1, which is raise student achievement, improve instruction, goal 2, and goal 3, create a technology-enriched school district that transforms the delivery of instruction. It's going to do all 3 of those. So those are my 3 goals with this training. I'm going to hit the next button. And here's where I'm going to upload my attachments. Now, it's always important to make sure you're uploading attachments of your training. This will help whoever your credit request is flowing to have all the information. Now, this could be a agenda page. It could be a pamphlet of something you've gone to. It could be a syllabus if it's a college course. Or in this case, for this training, I will have gotten a certificate at the end. So I'm going to upload the certificate. And you can see there's a space for you to upload 3 things. So I could actually upload a syllabus, I could upload an agenda, and I could upload I could upload all 3 if I wanted, because I can upload at least 3 pieces of evidence here for my training. And the more detail you give, the more information you give, the easier it is to get credit approved. So I'm going to click Choose File. I'll pick my certificate, and if I need to give a description of it, I can. When I've uploaded all my evidence, I'll click the Finish button. And you can see right here it says credit has not yet been requested. So if you stop at that point, it's never going to be approved. What this does is this gives you a chance to review the things you've input. So I can review my entry details, title, description. If I need to make changes, I can do it right here. Credit request, start date, end date, the credit I'm requesting. If I have any other notes I need to give, I can do that here. I can see the attachment I made. If I need to add another attachment, I can add an attachment at this time. I can once again review or change that credit that I'm requesting, and I can review those goals again. When I'm sure that everything looks the way I want it to look, I need to go up here to the top and hit Submit for approval. Now, if for some reason you don't want to submit it, you could always delete the entry. Or if you're not ready to send it yet, maybe you started entering it and you realize you don't have the certificate you need. Maybe you left it at home or you left it in the car. You want to get it later and add it. You can always save it and do it later. But I'm ready to submit this, and so I'm going to hit Submit for approval. And now it says credit has been requested and is pending approval. So what that's telling me is I've done my request, I've sent it off, and it's flowed to the correct person so that they can review my request for credit. And if everything looks good to them, they'll be able to approve it. If they have any questions, they can contact me to ask me questions about my credit and about my training. But once they approve that, that's going to appear on my portfolio the same way the district credit is appearing on your portfolio. That way you'll have a record of all your training in one place,